Architecture is born of a couple of constants. The client, the location, both of those come together before we're involved, and they inspire us. It's always a series of connections between things where we think the magic happens, where the architecture comes to life. Most of the work that we get is really through word of mouth, and this project was no different. The clients have older children that lived in a project that we had recently finished. They really liked it, and when their parents were looking for a pied-à-terre in the city, they reached out to us. So on the one hand, they wanted to embrace the architecture of the building, the spirit of the location, the views, all the things that are sort of obvious. But on the other hand, they wanted it to be a place where they could have their 3 daughters, all of their grandkids, an extended family in a place where they could just have fun and relax and entertain. The concept for this project really started around this idea of an apple. Sort of this idea that when you take a bite into an apple, you are biting through a shell and you're revealing something on the inside. And so we have this amazing shell. We can't compete, nor do we want to, with everything that's around us. So we wanted to focus more inward. So you wind in a circuit around this core. You come in through the entry, you come down a hall, into this sort of long promenade by the kitchen, which terminates in this incredible dining area, right, where you're surrounded by the city. And then it extends all the way across the living space, where you're really kind of embracing the view, which is spectacular, but really connecting back into this incredibly warm living space. The views after a while can also become a little bit of a one-liner. So it's interesting to start playing with foreground and background. It's interesting to start interrupting that view, right? We're never taking away from it. The view is spectacular. We're not building a wall in front of the view. But if we start segmenting the view into a series of moments and begin to play with a foreground and a background, then every time you get an opportunity to see the view, it's new again, it's fresh. And then we can insert some things into the foreground that also play with your sense of perception. So we did that with the mirrors, we did that with the entry mirror. When you walk down the hall, the reality is the view out the north side is an urban view. So we felt okay bringing in an art piece. We love to use natural materials, natural woods because they have great grain to them, natural marbles and stones because of the veining. They tell a really rich story. And in the kitchen, we wanted to play with this idea of dark and light, where the kitchen itself, the kitchen proper, is very light, and we've really leaned into this great veining that makes its way on the floor, up the island, and up the cabinetry, so that you're really seeing kind of that whole expression across the facade. You're not seeing it as individual cabinets, you're seeing it as art. You're seeing it as this sort of beautiful display. And we found a wall in the guest room that was also covered over with plaster. We chipped all the plaster off, we sanded it down, and we ended up with a concrete texture that is magical. It's got the raw quality of concrete, but all of the holes are filled in with the white plaster, but it's very even across the wall. So it looks like an artistic finish that, frankly, we just found and got lucky with. I fundamentally believe that good design contributes to all aspects of your life. I think design is a protagonist in our lives. Bad design can be an antagonist. Many people go to work every day sitting in horrible office buildings, in horrible cubicles, in windowless spaces. They come home to apartments that don't refresh them, that don't complement their state of mind, that don't bring them to a sense of well-being. And so that's something that we are constantly fighting against. We think that good design can change your mood. Good design can make you happy. Good design can give you confidence. Good design can change the way you feel. And I fundamentally, to my core, believe that that's true.